Greetings and salutations, this is Emperor Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aichi D3A Val dive bomber. And unlike most dive bombers, which in the Second World War called dive bombers, they are actually designed to dive bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are actually quite a few planes that are called dive bombers which don't. On paper, the Heinkel 3 is a dive bomber. It was officially classified as a dive bomber. You can't dive bomb in a Heinkel 3. It's a bomber. It's a huge twin-engine bomber. You can't dive bomb in it, but it was designed originally to be a dive bomber, but it got out of hand. And then they're going to get a contract, and they ended up... it's a whole other story. It ended up as a passenger liner, and then, yeah. Anyway, this is the Val dive bomber, hence the slightly gull wings. Fixed lower landing gear, and all the other stuff you get with the dive bomber. Rear machine gun, very useful for self-defense because its initiative is rubbish. So, like all Japanese planes, it has no armour whatsoever. So, it's going to get shot down by machine guns and stuff very easily.
But it's a high velocity.
Yeah, it is a
dive bomber. When it's dive bombing,
it's harder to hit, yeah. Right, so you've got... What shall we go through first? It's got dive bombing ability, so you re-roll your bombing dice if you miss. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Forward guns, 2 forward guns, 1 rear gun, and we have a special rule re-roll because it's the pilots are fanatics, so they can re-roll morale. So if they're under fire and they're getting pins instead of and they fail, so they pull off. Normally you would fail if you getting flak coming in at you. You'd abort the attack. The Japanese pilot might just go for it anyway and not care about all the flak going at him. So that's quite useful. Could be the difference between dropping bombs or not. Bomb-wise, it carries one 551-pound bomb. That's in Japanese. Japanese explosives were not as good as Allied explosives or anyone else's explosives. So they tend to make the bomb slightly bigger, put more explosive in it to make it the same effect. So it's actually a 500-pound bomb. And a 130-pound bomb, which is actually a 110-pound bomb.
Yeah.
You have to just do these quick calculations. So it carries one 500-pound bomb, which is +4 penetration, 3D HE. That will ruin your day. Bear in mind, this is early war we're playing. Later war, some of your tanks and stuff might survive that. But certainly if you play in early war, then your armoured vehicles aren't going to make it out of that.
Say goodbye to your... I need tanks.
Well, you're rushing your T-26s and stuff like that.
T-26s, they've got no armour on top. Oh, that's good.
Val's accounted for, I think, about 1 in 3 tank casualties during the Kathleen Gol incident. During the main attack, the Val dive bombers just blew the hell out of the Russians. Didn't matter, the Russians had so many tanks it didn't make any difference. just kept advancing towards the Japanese.
The Germans started losing too many of them.
Yeah, there's too many Russians. Hitler said, it's on YouTube if you look it up, there's like a talkie thing with Hitler, and Hitler's talking, and he sat there saying, I can't believe the Russians have so many tanks.
Well,
just every time we beat them, more tanks come.
And when he speaks really goddamn loudly.
Yeah.
And he blows your ears out. What's scary about it, he's actually speaking in German.
Yes.
And he looks really angry. So I wouldn't like to be in a conference with him.
Yeah.
Or an interview.
Why couldn't you have made YouTube videos in English? It would have been easier to watch. Didn't he know that YouTube would be invented one day? He could have thought about prosperity. Churchill, he could speak French, but
even
he made his speeches in English.
For it.
Yeah. So someone should have gone, some time traveller should have gone backwards in time and said, dude, can you say all your stuff in English? Do an English version. Because, there's going to be people around the world who only speak English and they don't understand a word you're saying because you're foreign. But no, Hitler was there just speaking.
No, you have to put subtitles. Have you invented subtitles yet? What?
Actually, you did have subtitles.
What's in German?
What?
Yeah, what's in German? Yeah, what's in German? There are people I said.
What?
Shut up.
We are discussing the Val dive bomber. Yeah, Hitler did mention the Russians had too many tanks. But that's besides the point. The Val was, I think, one of the best dive bombers of the period.
I actually like it.
Yeah, it's very useful in bolt action because you can really damage your enemy. And it's cheap.
Didn't I use this once and destroy a whole building?
Yeah.
In your high commands and that?
Yeah, I was in the hotel.
Yeah.
You levelled the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because it does 3D HE and we tested the hotel. The hotel collapsed and killed my entire command staff and the squad of stormtroopers in the ground floor. So that was my Chinese army finished off in one turn, basically.
No, I only left in fought in hand-to-hand combat. One unit, the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah. All I had left was an armoured car and a squad of irregular infantry, which wasn't going to stand against your Japanese. Right, so...
well, it didn't stand.
Well, they didn't, no. No, this is bad. As mentioned before, armour is non-existent, so it's only got a 5+. That means you can actually damage them quite easily. Even small arms can damage them if you're psychopathic enough to stand there with a rifle and shoot up. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I'd run away if I heard fire coming in.
Because you'd be too busy having your hands over cupped over your ears going, why is it so loud?
Oh no, that's a Stuka. These guys didn't carry screamers.
Oh, that ruined it.
No, the early ones in China were fitted with screamers.
I really think they could have done way better with screamers.
Yeah, but they're fitted to the wheels. It's like a thing that fits to the wheels, and when it dives, it goes, and it's really scary. If you've ever actually heard an actual Stuka, it is terrifying. And that's what these ones sounded like, but they only used them in China and they took them off.
Right.
So, it's something to do with the landing gear. It impeded the landing gear when it was landing. I suppose because they were operating on non-metalized roads. They were taken off on dirt roads. I don't know. I know that the Germans had to take them off the Stukas in the desert as well.
Well, it's a desert, isn't it? It's pretty hard
Yeah,
to
I
land
think
in the
it's the
desert,
same
anyway.
thing. It's something to do with the landing gear. I don't know. And I should have looked it up. In fact, it might be in one of my books if I dig it out. I haven't read about them for ages. But, yeah. So, yeah, it's a decent aircraft. It is quite dated for its time. It was kept in service throughout the war, which the Japanese kept everything in service until it fell apart. They never actually retired anything. And if it was so damaged, if it was so out of date, they'd just use it as a flying bomb and crash it into something. So that's what the Japanese were like. They used things till they broke. Tactics for you.
A battle?
Well, it's a dive bomber. You're just going to attack.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Tactically, no.
Have some zero supports. No, they don't have zeros yet, do they?
Yeah. Oh, it
Right,
depends. It depends if you're fighting in China. No.
Oh, no.
No, you have the KI-27.
Has some K-27s on cap to support them from when enemy aircraft has shooted down.
Yeah, you're going to need CAT, combat air patrol, to protect them. Your rear gun will be handy. It gives you 4 shots at enemy plane coming in to attack you.
Yeah, I remember.
In defence, you've shot one of my planes down with
I
it.
shot 2 of them.
So you can actually defend yourself, but
Yeah, I was lucky, come on.
you were very lucky. But I'd prefer to have a decent fighter plane backing these guys up. At least one.
How much does it cost?
120 points for veteran, 100 for regular, 80 for inexperienced.
Just set you back a lot.
Yeah, but bear in mind we're fighting early war. You're going to be regular and veteran. You're not going to have any experienced flight crews, so you're going to have...
And that's light war.
Yeah, if you say fighting the Malayan campaign or anything like that, or the Pacific in general, you're going to be having all veteran air crew. Everything's going to be veteran. Whereas if you're in China, you can get your regular units in China, but other than that, everything's veteran.
No, the country that starts losing is the person who first gets the any experience. You start drafting people in the army, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, once you're relying on reserves, it's going to take a lot longer to win.
Or that's a sign of you're about to get defeated.
Yeah, yeah. So once you start calling up reserves, that's when...
Everything goes downhill.
Yeah. Oh, not reserves, conscription.
I hope that doesn't come back.
I'm not really sure we'll have time.
I couldn't stand to live shooting someone.
I don't. Well, the guy's trying to kill you.
Yeah, but I can't. Yeah, but I can't shoot the guy and think, oh my god, I just killed someone.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they
only if he's done something to me personally.
What, like invaded your country?
Well, I don't really care about.
So he invaded your country and set up forward operating bases.
Which part of the country?
Well, where we live. Set up forward operating bases, begun changing everything into the way they're
Sorry, change.
Yeah.
We're not even going to be down here.
So it gets to the point where really you've been invaded and you have to start fighting. So at that point you're not actually being conscripted. You're the resistance.
Oh, you're the people who are behind and have conversations with them.
Resistance.
No. These were P.
Partisans.
Partisans, yes.
Yeah, partisan is Spanish for resistance. Resistance
Mate.
fighters. Sorry, he's resistance fighters. And
I want to look cool and you have to run it for me,
and
don't
if
you?
you've got commissars with you, then you're communist resistance. So
Shut up!
You'll be with Coben and his mates, waving a little red flag in the street. That's great, wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Would Coben be there with me?
Especially as it was the Labour Party.
Would he be there with me?
It was Labour that led to this in the first place. Yes, Corbyn is a sort of mad guy who probably would be next to you with a flag waving it. Just.
I can see that. Just walking into
he'd be at the front saying, "On, comrades."
No, walking to Barnsley. Yeah, they're walking to Barnsley.
No one walks into Barnsley. No one walks to Barnsley.
They're running to Barnsley then.
Drive very fast through Barnsley.
Get to the other end.
It's not
quick.
Never anyone's destination. It's somewhere you have to go through to get somewhere more important.
Oh,
and the way the buildings are burning down at the moment, I'm not sure there's going to be much of the town left.
I ain't told about that, didn't
Yeah, there's another one burning today, which is
next door to the one.
Next door to the one that burned last
that time.
Yeah.
What a coincidence!
Sorry, this is all local politics. You may not. We're supposed to talk about airplanes. We currently have a firebombing campaign going on, which is hilarious, which seems to be missed entirely by the media.
That's why I love doing YouTube. You say what you want.
Yeah, but that's just what's happening. It's wonderful, just living in the north for the moment. Yeah, where are the Japanese when you need them? It's about time we got invaded by an imperialist conquesting army.
Well, I don't think that's the imperial.
Japanese now. The Japanese society is pretty much in the toilet, unfortunately.
Well, number one, the government has no money. And number two,
the people have money. The government have. We're in a permanent recession.
My brother says that Japan is worthless, it's poor, and it has nothing. No.
Yeah, because he reads the Financial Times.
The people have the money,
yeah.
So the country's getting stuck in kept run.
Yeah.
It's just that the government are in debt, but why should the people pay taxes to them when they're not doing anything for them?
Yeah, why raise taxes to pay the debt off? Why not just say, fine, we've got no money?
Yeah.
And then the people just do their own stuff. It's called a free market.
And they'll avoid you again because you can do anything to them.
Yeah, it's just how it works. Britain will be there soon because the amount of debt that Britain's in at the moment.
Well, America's in a lot of debt as well. We're all in debt.
Well, America's in a better position because even though the dollar's no longer the world's reserve currency,
they really thought the dollar would have to make it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but it hasn't been replaced by anything else, so technically the dollar is still the world's reserve currency. So, what?
I hope the pound makes it.
The pound? Oh, I think the pound will be around for a lot longer.
How's the pound been around?
Oh God, I don't know. Well, the current pound was in the 1970s, was it? No, 1960s, 1970s. The current pound sterling in decimal. Because it used to be a different system.
Dollar?
Dollar? Oh God, that's been around. Well, the gold-backed dollar or the original dollar.
Now.
The dollar we have now, that was when they went off the gold standard.
Yeah, the printed one.
72, something like that.
So we're around now the same.
Yeah. Typically, whenever any empire goes off the gold standard or precious metal standard, or that empire begins to decline, and that's currently where we are now.
Japan, yen.
Yeah.
How long's that been around?
That's been around from the time of the first emperors, so it's been around quite a while.
Yeah, I don't know how far back goes.
It's not the yen, is it?
Yes, yen.
This is the yen. Yeah.
Yen is Japan. I don't know what China is.
I don't know. Russia still uses the ruble, which is comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah. Hey, that's oil backed, so.
Well, they do own a large amount of
yeah,
land.
the ruble will always be around. It will never be the currency you invest in, but
unless
it will always be there.
someone wins a fight with them and takes half their land.
Yeah, so it will always be there. So don't worry about the ruble. People panic and say, "Oh, don't buy the ruble." Well, why not? Because it will always. It is a. You're all right with it. It's not a bad investment if you've got the nerve and some spare cash.
Well, the only reason I like doing kind of videos on Japan is because when I'm older I want to move there.
Yeah, you're very Nikkei-centric, aren't you?
Yeah, I've always, my whole life I wanted to live in Tokyo.
Yeah. I like Japan. It's a lovely country. Unfortunately, it's rather full.
Well,
there's lots of open areas with no people.
And
the cities are packed.
Lots of places with bikes, biking people.
Yeah,
everywhere.
because it's just cheaper having a bike, and you don't live very far from work, so it's easier having
and
a bike.
Japan's fairly small country than ours, which I thought wasn't possible.
Yeah, England's a very small country compared to a lot of countries, but we do have quite a lot of farmland and stuff, so there's quite a few open areas.
Not anymore.
Well, I think farmland would be a lot better off now, not in the European Union.
There's more farmland down in the south.
Yeah, I know, because the farmers we know have not. Well, they basically make rape because it's cheaper to. It's to keep the European quotas of how much biofuel each country has to make. And what they really want to do is sell sugar beet and stuff because that's where the cash is.
Yeah.
Remember Holly, before he sold his farm, he delayed the sale of the farm so he could harvest the sugar beet, and then he sold that.
Yeah, it's just what Holly does. He wants that kind of stuff. I remember because I used to be with him when he was hunting, because his mate was doing the land, getting all crops down, and he was sat on the bonnet of the car, Land Rover, with his rifle, and every single time a hare or a fox came out, just shooting. He was so precise.
Yeah, I know, you can hit birds eye in the dark.
I was like, what?
Yeah. That's what you get for living in the countryside.
Yeah.
So he basically held off selling his farm until the harvest and then cashed in.
I was reading the book in the back. No, I was in the front seat.
You're a very useful farmer, aren't you? You
Well,
just
no,
sit there and watch.
No, and then he went, Alex, can you help me? And I went, okay then. Climbed onto the front bonnet of the Land Rover and went, can you hold my gun? Whoa, no, I'll get run.
He wouldn't have given you a loaded gun.
I'm not touching that. I knew he was going to reload it, but I'm not touching that now. No, trust yourself.
Right, we've done tactics. Sorry, we have drifted off on a tangent again. And no doubt we'll get complaints.
Welcome to our channel.
Yes, welcome to our channel. Deal with it.
Get over it.
I mean, technically we do a wargaming channel, but it's actually about all sorts of stuff. We'll start an investment section.
I'm speaking to
investments. We'll have to start one of them and tell you what to do. There's enough people on YouTube doing that, and so many of them are so wrong. And you watch them and you think, you idiot, what are you talking? You're telling people to buy this or that. Don't buy that.
Well, we were talking just before we started these videos, and I said, well, when I get older and Tom's got popular, I'm going to rename the channel the Random Channel.
Yeah.
Because we don't really speak about what the title of the video says. We speak about what we want.
Well, no, we do cover the video. I mean, we have discussed the plane and stuff. You see, there's not much to say about these because I know we've already done videos on these planes. We've done a video on these years when we first started the channel. So I'm just I'm bringing it up to date with the new gaming cards I've done and the amendments to the rules from there's a PDF download for different rules and stuff. So we've sort of brought everything up to the modern before the new rules are published, and the new rules will be coming out soon. So they're going to republish the rule book, and there's going to be a Bolt Action Book 2 which will have all the stuff that they forgot to put in the first time.
Bolt Action Book 2.
Yeah, but it's...
Wait, you mean Bolt Action Book 15?
No, it's with Bolt Action Book 2. It's just they brought Bolt Action out and said, we've got a brilliant rule system, play it. And as soon as people started playing it, they said, what happens if we don't know the answer to that?
What about cavalry?
Yeah, what about cavalry?
Dave, print it off.
Rick,
print it off quick.
But yeah, no, I love Bolt Action. It's a brilliant rule system. There aren't any actual proper set rules for aircraft. We do use a version of our own, but they have published a PDF which has been available quite a while, which actually isn't that good.
The amount of PDFs they've ever done.
Yeah, we have printed so many PDFs.
I think most of them are upstairs.
Yeah, most of them are upstairs, but we have
you still got a lot.
A lot of PDFs here with all the special rules for everything, all the stuff. Night fighting rules, which we have used, we quite like that. And it's funny enough, the night fighting rules that we invented on the spot ended up being what the night fighting rules ended up being.
I have a feeling they just watched our video and just wrote down what we were saying.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I suppose it's common sense, isn't it? You know, muzzle flashes will make it easier for you to see and all that stuff. Yeah. So that is it. That
you can see the Japanese from far away because you can hear them shouting bonsai. Well, that's my tactics. That's why I fight.
They don't shout bonsai until they're about to attack.
That's what I do.
Yeah. They're very, very, very quiet.
I know, which is why
everyone pours their water into the same bottle, so the water bottle doesn't make noise as they cross through the jungle. It's all quite interesting stuff. They're all very well trained troops.
Well, yeah, you should know you watch documentaries all day your whole life.
Do a lot of reading as well.
If it finishes the video and says, right, you go upstairs then, I'll go upstairs, play some games, watch YouTube, come back downstairs, and he's watching documentaries.
What's wrong with that?
And then he's reading a book, and then he's watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, I'm watching Doctor Who. We're doing Doctor Who, so...
I think they know about that.
Yeah, so we're watching Doctor Who at the moment, and getting back into remembering everything.
Well, you're watching the old ones.
I've watched the old ones. Yeah, I've got the old ones on DVD. Hartnell and Troughton.
Have you seen Silence yet?
The Silence.
Yeah.
What do you mean the Silence? You mean the Silence from the new series?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I quite like the Silence.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I can't remember them though.
They use electricity and their faces sawed up.
No, I've just forgot again. Every time I look away, I keep forgetting.
You get me for anything, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It took a while to get back.
Don't ever try and trip me up on Doctor Who. Right. That's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. It's been jolly good fun making the video. Do you want to do the outro?
Actually, this video is 23 minutes.
Yeah, apparently it is.
I thought it was only like 10 minutes.
Yeah, awesome.
So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the Val dive bomber, and if you think they should have put some screeches on it. I think they should have.
Yeah, well they did. We've discussed that. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, leave any comments, and all that. Thank you very much. Goodbye.